Hello, everybody, and welcome to Two Dumb Punks, where me and this guy try and just talk shit, basically, about punk rock and records. This is the second the second annual show. Inaugural. Yes.
That sounds fucking important now.
It could be less than important if you tried. Right, so, how are you doing anyway, dude? You alright?
Hey, I'm doing good. Yeah. Now, first, before we do this record bullshit that nobody cares about.
Yeah.
So, on the Facebook page this morning, Kevy had posted that in 2017, London's going to get the Jacksonville Jaguars, prospectively.
Right. So,
you're going to enter the realm of professional American football.
Yeah.
Now, I know we kind of touched on that a little bit in the last one, kind of briefly at the end for the one person that maybe watched it. But, dude, do you realize that in Jacksonville, the Jaguar, you probably say Jaguar anyway, but the Jaguars are 141 and 157 lifetime. They're that bad.
What
you
does
go
that
to
mean?
Jacksonville.
151, what do you mean by that?
141 wins and 157 losses.
Oh, right,
lifetime.
Right.
Since they've been an expansion team.
Right, okay. So that's not good then, no. Well, we don't care anyway. We play proper sports over here, like proper football. We don't say the S word. We play, rugby, real man's sport, cricket. You got to use your brain and stuff like that. And we don't have time for counting and throwing a ball in a straight line, basically. That's all it seems to be, American football. Just stats and throwing balls. That's all you've got.
Yeah, I'm curious though. What interests me about the NFL is, and we got into some soccer rules with how your leagues work there. Mm. But with American football, it's all salary capped. So you're allowed to draft certain players, you're allowed to keep your team's salary, your entire roster, but you have a limit on it. Unlike professional soccer teams, I mean, the big teams in the UK, the Manchester United, the bigger teams in London, everywhere else.
Yeah.
But, where you can basically, if the owner has the money and the support, you can build whatever team you want, correct?
Oh, yeah, totally. You can just buy from the world, pick from the best players around the world. And that's how it should be, though. I don't understand the salary caps and the stuff that American sports seem to enforce on every sport. It's even in the MLS in America. There's salary caps in that. And why? It stunts the growth of teams, it stunts the production of players, surely. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it as a concept. Who the fuck thought up it? Who the fuck thought it up and thought, that's a brilliant idea, we'll make everybody have the same way? It doesn't work. There's no clear winners, well, not clear winners, but there's no underdogs. There's no chance of an underdog team because everyone's on the same level. So you can't have that, this team's this high, this team's at this position, and oh my god, there's a cup game happened and they beat, like Oldham Athletic beat Liverpool last season. You can't have that magic in American football. The fucking Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing the Washington Redskins, and you're not like, oh, who's going to win this? Who gives a fuck? It's,
Let me tell you about any other team in the NFL is about right here, and the Jaguars are right here.
Well, we're getting the underdogs then. Yes, I'll root for them. I don't mind rooting for them then, totally.
All right, let's show some records.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, right. You go first. I went first last time, so I'll let you go first.
Okay, this is special for Dr. Deadwax because I know he loves the band. I finally got my Kerplunk.
All right, sweet, nice.
So on lookout. This is going to be the start of a lot of lookout shit that I'm kind of chasing right now.
Cool.
And real nice copy too, and I got it for the right price, so I was happy.
Awesome, nice. First I'll show. I'm going to show these two together. I've got two Madness 12-inch. This is One Step Beyond, just the single, and also Return of Los Palmas 7. Didn't come with the free comic book. I don't know if you see that free Naughty Boys comic, but didn't come with that. But still, two awesome singles, and another one as well. I got Sepultura Territory. This one's got Biotech's Godzilla on the B side, and Jello Biafra wrote that. So
that's a great.
It's great.
I don't know how you find all this metal, dude. I have never found used Sepultura. Just good used thrash. Anywhere.
Wait till you see the next record. Seriously. Wow. So very nice. Go on. What have you got?
Oh, so I snagged this. I think you own this. This is the Alternative Tentacles repress of the Dicks. Kill from the Heart. This is the repress that includes oh, no, it doesn't include it. That's bullshit. This actually had the Hate the Police 7-inch on the download.
Yeah.
So you don't get that on the vinyl. I haven't listened to the record yet, but apparently it's not listed, so I don't get that. And that song, Hate the Police, that's one of the baddest fucking songs that I've heard in a long time. I mean, did you hear the language in that song?
Yeah, I've heard that song. That's not the album I've got. I've got the album before that. What's it called? I think it's called These People or something like that.
Right.
But I think it's on the album. It's a really good song, the one you're talking about, Hate the Police.
Yes.
And they're a really good band as well, really very good band, Dicks.
Yeah, Austin, Texas, they kind of sound like, to me, like the Stooges, but punkier. You know what I'm saying? That it's really garage punk's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And they kind of have, I guess MDC kind of had a similar vibe to them, and that's what Texas was doing, at the time, and around 83, 82,
Yeah.
But that was a good pickup. What do you got?
Right, next one. Pantera, Far Beyond Driven. This is the original version of it, with the band cover. I don't know if you can see that. But it's an arsehole with a drill coming out of it, and it's on double LP.
Son of a bitch, dude.
Opens up like that. That's the back of it. See the stickers are still on there. Limited edition, double vinyl, exclusive artwork, gable sleeve, die-cast metal mastered, and parent advisory sticker on the front there. It's not the best Pantera album. The best Pantera album is Vulgar Display of Power.
No, Cemetery Gates, dude. It's Cemetery Gates.
Oh, but that's on the album, isn't it? Vulgar Display. With it's got like Fucking Hostile on it and Walk and This Love. That album is fucking amazing. But this is a very close second, I must say.
No, I was wrong about the album too. That was the song that was stuck in my head, but because I'm baked, it's fucking Cowboys from Hell, dude. Yeah, Cowboys from Hell, Vulgar, then Far Beyond Driven, but still, you've got the drill bit fucking ass cover copy, which is pretty badass.
Indeed,
nice score.
So, very impressed to get that, some crunching metal on that album. Crunching. Go on, what's next for yourself?
Alright, so, I picked up a couple real good kind of street punk albums, or whatever you want to call it. So I picked up Cocksparrow, Shock Troops. What year did this come out? This was like
early 80s, is it?
1983, I think. Yeah. This was originally Razor Records, but anyway, this is the Pirates Press repress. Now, this is kind of how can I describe British oi?
Yeah.
It can be like either really driven and street punky and good for me, or it can sound kind of weird. And like with the Addicts, you get like the early Addicts is kind of the sound you're looking for, and then they just get fucking weird, kind of like the Cockney Rejects just kind of got weird. But it's good. The songs are catchy. They all have the sing along choruses and shit. But it's weird, man.
See, that's like Britain's kind of hardcore. So. In America, when you in the 80s you had hardcore, and then that turned sort of into metal. You had Oi over here, and that just sort of got really shit. And it started off shit, like Coxsparrow. I can't stand Coxsparrow. I cannot stand them. And then they get worse and worse as you listen to them. Like there's a band called The Business who started off okay, but the more and more you listen to them, the worse and worse they get. It's just it's embarrassing as well at points.
But now, like Angelic Upstarts, those guys were pretty good. The stuff that I've heard.
The next album, the Clockwork Orange, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Sure. Sham 69, I've heard a couple good tracks and then a lot of weird tracks. They were another one. They sound real similar to Coxsparrow to me in that sense that it's not really that street punk sound that you kind of want to hear. It's in between somewhere. It's kind of glammy almost.
Yeah, it's kind of slow. That's like the basic structure for every song, and then the chorus will be like da 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 da. Right, great, okay. Another one of those, is it? Right, brilliant.
Yeah, you could do that again. That'd be like cool. We could have did that for 15 minutes. That was pretty interesting. I was gonna start singing.
in your best Cockney accent.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, we fucking hell, oh fucking hell, Jesus Christ, Mary Poppins. Yeah.
That was good.
That's fucking I feel. I don't like it.
All right.
I don't like it. Right, next up, I got this after all my moaning about them. Nirvana, Incest Aside. I didn't really pick this up because Aneurysm's on there, and what is it? There it is. Yeah, Aneurysm at the end. We used to do covered it. I love that song. It's really good. It's an alright album, this. It's not brilliant, but yeah, it's alright.
It's a great album, man. It really, I don't know how you can't dig that album.
Nah,
it's like it's my second favorite, Nirvana album, probably.
Yeah.
So, kind of moving on to, later in the whole setup here, I snagged this. This was a Peter recommendation. And this is some American, street punk, good stuff. It's the Bruisers, Cruising for a Bruisin'. Yeah. Now, these guys are more up-tempo, and every song's kind of what you're looking for. This is a Tang reissue. It's on color vinyl.
Yeah.
Now, the singer from this band, Al Barr, is the current singer for Dropkick Murphys.
Oh, right.
The original singer quit to go be a fireman, and then, which is what all people, in Boston do. It's the Boston Irish thing to do. And then he ended up starting the Street Dogs, which I'm sure you've heard of.
Yeah.
So this is worth checking out on YouTube. They got the full album up. It's pretty great.
Right. I'll go for that. Yeah, I'll try that. Next up for me, the Pixies, Bossa Nova. There's not many really hits or singles off this one. It's got Valoria is on here. That one. It's not the best album, but it's the Pixies, and it still rocks. It's not Doolittle or Surfer Rosa, but it's still the Pixies.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right, let me get one.
Yeah.
I still don't know how you find these original pressings of everything, man. That's ridiculous. Honestly, it is. And I know you're not paying what I'm paying for shit like that. Yeah. So this is Hot Water Music's Epitaph debut album, A Flight and a Crash. Carl threw this one up, and then I realized it's the only one I was missing in my Hot Water big record collection.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it too. All of their Epitaph stuff is really pretty solid. Now, I'm trying to remember if they cut off the Epitaph before they released a horrible album called The New What Next, which I just can't get into. It's just fucking complete trash. So, but that's good.
Right. No, cool. I'm still trying to get into them more. It's still taking me a while. But I will. I'll end up listening to more Hot music soon, I'm sure. Next up for me, the Stone Roses' Second Coming.
You motherfucker.
Listen, I'm from Manchester. You've got to have this album. You've got to own this. I've got to own this. And, I've got the first album upstairs as well. So why not have this one as well,
I need both of those, and they're not cheap, dude. They're fucking not cheap.
This one was alright actually, because I got it from the shop with the stickers, and the guy in there is giving me a discount now, like every time I go in. So yeah, it wasn't too bad actually, this one. But well,
he should. He's the one that sold you that Dashboard Confessional record that one time.
Exactly. Gatefold like thing, It's not got the original inner. They're in bags now, but still it's a fucking great record. This album, it's a brilliant album. So. Get me swagger on in Manchester. Fucking yeah, Stone Roses, motherfucker. That's
so
how people in Manchester speak, by the way.
You're gonna get some, you're gonna pick up some, Smith stuff next?
No.
No.
Never. No. Alright, go on, you go.
All right, these are going to be real quick, because if you don't own these, you need them. Well, you do, but I mean, just the world in general.
Yeah.
Bad Religion, Against the Grain, just essential stuff.
Indeed.
And this is a reissue, whatever. Anyway, and this Generator. Now, Generator's weird. Of the four big Bad Religion records,
yeah,
this was my least favorite for a long time. But after spinning this back to back, all I'm missing is No Control to have like the four key Bad Religion albums.
Yeah.
But I got it on CD, whatever. But Generator is it's a much better record as a whole than Against the Grain.
I've been telling you that for ages now. I've been telling you that for ages, but you won't listen. You'll never listen.
It really is. They're more melodic on this record. It's more typical, you want to say that you love No Control, you love Suffer, and you love Against the Grain, and I do, and that's all I've been listening to until I just picked these two up, and you're kind of getting closer to that polish on Recipe for Hate and Stranger Than Fiction where they were at the top, Now we're the most harmonized melodic band there is going on right now. Unless you're talking about the Beach Boys,
That is a Generator though. Absolutely brilliant record. Right, these next two for me I'm going to show at the same time then as well. GBH, City Baby, Attacked by Rats. First full-length proper studio album by these. Like, they did that Leather, Bristles, Acne and whatnot. But this is the first proper full album, City Baby, Attacked by Rats. And I got the second one as well, City Baby's Revenge. 100 Ways to Kill a Rat. So, yeah, bit of a GBH kick. Quite like them. They're very typical British punk band where that every song sounds the same after you've, the first two or three albums. Every song is similar then. So, well, that's GBH.
What do you got next to the show? Are you getting into Southern California yet?
I think so, yeah. I'm getting down South America anyway, yeah, definitely.
Well, you show some then, because I've only got one new one left.
Right, okay.
Well, a couple.
Next up for me, The Farts. This is a compilation on Alternative Tentacles, Duff McQuegan's old band, is it? Is that his name, Duff McQuegan? Am I saying that right?
Duff McKagan, I think, from
McKagan?
Guns N' Roses,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, the dude from Guns N' Roses. He was in this band for a while, then he left, and then he started the shittest rock and roll band, or the shittest rock band ever, Guns N' Roses. He's in the Farts. He did something decent with his musical career before he joined Guns N' Roses, at least. This is fucking brilliant. This is like Reagan Youth style hardcore. Reagan Youth, Minor Threat kind of stuff. Very similar, tracks and whatnot, but still very, very good. Very good. Keeping with that American hardcore sound, I got this, Oscar Dew's Land Speed Record. I need to get this again because I'd sent my copy to Pete in Holland. And this is a fucking brilliant record. You can't, have you ever heard this one?
I have. It's great.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant.
It's great. I like all Husker Du stuff, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny, see if you can sit a little bit further back. I'm getting pixelation when you show a record.
Yeah?
Oh, that's better. Yeah, perfect.
All right. I've got 3 more left. And we're not in America anymore with these next 2.
Let's go.
So, No Means No, Old. This is a 2010 or 2011 tour EP that they put out. It's only got 4 tracks on it, but look at that black and white spiral. Fucking brilliant. It's on their own record label, Wrong, and from what I've heard of it so far, I've not listened to everything, but so far it's absolutely amazing stuff. Really good. No Means No. And speaking of No Means No, I also got this. The Hanson Brothers, which is their side project band, if you will, Gross Misconduct. Ramones influenced pop, punk, hockey songs, fighting songs. Came with a free 7-inch, and inside there was a load of Alternative Tentacles stickers and flyers, for mailers and stuff like that. So I'm putting that on. It's just awesome pop punk. Awesome.
You know what's interesting? It's like Alternative Tentacles is one of those labels that I don't ever think of. Like, I don't ever think of them as a Ramones core kind of label. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're always they're the arty farty kind of odd punk bands, if you will.
Right.
You think that Alice Donuts, No Means No, Dead Kennedys, Jello Biafra, DOA. They've got, well, not DOA so much, but those type of arty farty weird punk bands, Dicks, for instance.
Yeah, sure.
And then, to have like the Hanson Brothers on there is just very odd for them. But I think it's just because it's No Means No, and the mates with Jello, and Jello's probably going, yeah, fuck it, why not? Yeah, we'll stick it out, why not? Right, last one from me. Last one. This is fucking brilliant. This album is amazing. Evil Empire, Rage Against the Machine, second album. This is the first press of it. UK press. Comes with the inner there.
Nice.
And everything on there. And obviously it's on Epic Records. There we go. And just an amazing album. I remember listening to this back in the day when it came out, and sort of sitting in your mate's room, smoking weed and listening to this. And thinking we were cool.
That was on such heavy rotation for me. I mean, the first album, that album.
Yeah.
Are you getting that whistle in
No.
your ear?
No?
Oh. Hang on, dude. I might be like a... Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely that. Whatever. Sounds like I was at a show last night.
Tinnitus in your ears.
So, that's Rage. That's Evil Empire. Brilliant record, like you said. Now, I got one more that I picked up. So we're going to talk about Zack De La Rocha and some of the shit he was doing in Southern California at the time.
Yeah.
This is Inside Out. No Spiritual Surrender. This is on Revelation Records, and it sounds very typical of early Revelation. Well, I say early, that 1990, 89, 90, 91 era of Revelation, where it's those big American hardcore kind of sound to it. So in that sense, this has always been one of my favorite Revelation records. Now, Zack De La Rocha is the singer in this band. When he started out, him and the bass player Tim from Rage Against the Machine played in like punk bands. They listened to shit like Bad Religion, the Ramones, poppier shit, and then they got exposed to Minor Threat, and Zack, of course, went all fucking Looney Tunes straight edged out, fucking crazy. And he started a band called Hard Stance, or he joined a band called Hard Stance, which was a really kind of that Big Judge kind of sound, or bold.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hard Stance became Inside Out. Inside Out is more of a kind of punkier, kind of hardcore, kind of like Gorilla Biscuits, but heavier than Gorilla Biscuits. You know what I mean? Heavier, slower.
Yeah.
So, and this other one I snagged, which finally I love this band. This is Rochambeau. Farside is the band. This was released in 1992. This is probably my second favorite Revelation Records album of all times. Now, what's interesting about Farside is these guys were pretty much nobodies. They released an EP, I think in 1990, which will come back, and then they released this album, followed this up with Rigged, which I sent you, which you probably haven't put as much time into as you should. And then the Monroe Doctrine, which is a great album too. And these guys were really fucking young. So when Farside started up, they released this EP before they recorded for this album. Mm-hmm. Zack De La Rocha was, this is what's blurry. He was, Inside Out was either done, or this was right before Inside Out had started, when he was in Hard Stance. Zack played second guitar for Farside.
Right.
And Zack played second guitar on the demo tracks for the EP that we talked about prior to this album. And there's actually video footage, and it's the only known that I found yesterday, of Zack playing with Farside at Irvine High School in 1990. Also, 1990, this band started.
Yeah.
So there's a big internet, when were you playing with guitar with them at the same time as you were Inside Out thing going on? But anyway, whatever. It's a tidbit about Zack, and then Zack eventually got tired of hardcore, started going to clubs and got into hip-hop, where he met Tom Morello, who was like, man, let's look at, and then Rage Against the Machine became. But this band had 8 unreleased tracks after this album, which was for an EP that was going to be titled Rage Against the Machine. So there would have been Inside Out, Rage Against the Machine. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, man. Fucking heck. That's pretty cool. Should we talk about a record label then for a bit, like we did last time? Yeah. Well, you give us the info then. You just talk them up for a moment. Whilst I grab
all right, so
go on.
So I've been on a NoFX spine kick. I know it's one of your 2 favorite bands probably.
Yeah.
I thought we'd talk about Fat Records. For me, Lookout, Fat, Epitaph, and Revelation were like my labels. They were my main bitches back in the day when I was young and whatever. So Fat Mike started a label for whatever reason, probably because he had the money to, with his ex-wife around 1990.
Yeah.
And Fat Mike wanted to release bands that sounded like NoFX, that had that RKL kind of metal punk vibe that with the melodic vocals. So that's what they did. Yeah. And then, early on, they re-released a few. I pulled the whole catalog up and I forgot it where, but it was cool to look at. They released, like 3 NoFX EPs. They reissued them.
Right.
And then they released a whole fucking slew of Lagwagon stuff.
Yeah.
Those were like the first key albums.
Yeah.
And then they released
Lagwagon were one of the first bands, weren't
they? And then they released this record, 1993, which is How to Clean Everything. Nice.
This one?
Yeah, that's the one. And it's just essential. I mean, you should own this in a punk collection if you like 90s punk. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
What do you got?
Well, I pulled out just a couple of things that I thought are essential. As well as Fat Wreck, though, Fat Mike, he started 2 other record labels. One called Red and Black, or Pink and Black, sorry, which was designed for his ex-wife, really, to sign punk bands with a girl singer or all-girl punk bands. And the other one was for Honest Don's Records, which was a label that he thought that was for more sort of ska bands and poppier punk bands. So I've got this album, the Dancehall Crashes. This is one of the first releases on Honest Don's. And
nice.
Honest Don's is a really good label as well. It doesn't get as much love. It's not going anymore. But they had bands like Nerf Herder on there, Dancehall Crashes.
Chicks Dig It.
Chicks Dig It were on there, yeah. There's a couple of really good bands on Honest Don's, and so it's worth checking out. But Fat Music wise, if you want to get a sample of Fat Music, pick up some of the compilations. Fat Music for Fat People is the first one. And it just gives us, a smorgasbord of amazing punk bands. So I've got the first one there, second volume there, Survival of the Fattest, Ned's personal favourite.
Yeah.
And also the third one is a Physical Fatness, Fat Music Volume 3, which we talked about in the last video. But I've pulled 10 of my favourite Fat record albums. I've got them here, so we can go through these if you want. Have you got 10? Did you say, have you got 10 as well?
I think, I don't know, I got a stack. We'll just work through it.
Yeah, cool.
I tried to be pretty picky. I got a pretty good stash of fat. In more ways than one. Boom.
Just give some honourable mentions before we start off this top 10 of fat, if you will. Useless ID, they're a cracking band that are around at the moment from Israel. This album's amazing. I've not really heard much other stuff, but what I have heard is really good, so check them out, Useless ID. Tilt, the only Pink and Black band to come from Pink and Black onto Fat's full lineup. They've got a girl singer and really good band. I'm not going to show this, but I've no doubt Mr. Ned will show something by these lot. Strung Out, Another Day in Paradise. Good band. I've got a couple of things by Strung Out. Less Than Jake, this is their Fat album. One of their Fat albums.
And one of their better albums, too, in my opinion.
Yeah. And Lagwagon, let's talk about feelings. I'm not a massive fan of Lagwagon. I don't like the constant changing in the song. You've got, this is right, there's one riff, then there's another riff, then there's another riff, and then there's a little solo part, and there's a different riff from everything else. And it doesn't structure properly in my head. I just can never wrap my own head around.
Here's my thing with Lagwagon, and I feel like I'm obliged to like Lagwagon. I mean, don't you feel that way?
Yes.
Yes. It's important fat shit, and it's mostly RKL members.
Right.
So wouldn't it be good? I mean,
exactly. Yeah. But there's something there that stops you from fully appreciating and getting into them, and I don't know what it is quite, but for me it's the constant changing in the songs and the riffs not.
The singer kind of wears on me a little bit too. Yeah. He's a little annoying, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that.
Here's what I got next. This was 1995. And this is No Use for a Name, Leche Con Carne. I mean, Andy sent me this. This is my favorite new fan record, I mean, from that opening, it's kind of like you showed Strung Out. You start with Paradise, and it's like, or not Paradise, what's the opening track on Strung Out? I can't even do it. Anyway, whatever. But you got Justified Black Eye. Now,
Yeah.
like for me, I heard it on the comp first, like you said.
Yeah.
And then when I bought the record, you throw it in, and that's like track number 1. You're like, fuck yeah, man. It's fucking right there, right where you wanted it. So this is badass.
Well, because of this, Physical Fatness Volume 3, my favourite No Use for a Name is Making Friends and Influencing People. Because this one's got on the outside on it, and that's just the tune. And then you get into that album, and it's got like the Kiss cover of Beth is the secret track. There's some really good tunes on that album as well. Really good, really good. First up in my list, I'm going to show this one. Face to Face, Don't Turn Away. Cracking album, Face to Face. Go on, yeah.
I was just going to say that. I mean, if you had to own 3 of these records, that's one of them.
Yeah, definitely. Just bear with us a moment, just hang on. Oh.
What up, BC? Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yes, Face to Face, cracking band. I don't know much else. I haven't got anything else by them. I don't know much else at all by them. But yeah, great band. Great that album.
Okay.
Anyway.
Big choice. We're in that place where we put music. Big Choice. You need to go get that album out of there. Because Big Choice and that album, of course, are essential Face to Face, essential 90s punk. There's so little that's better than those 2 records. And Big Choice has a Bikeage, cover of a Descendants track on there. It's awesome, man. You'll love it.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out.
So, this is one of the coolest bands going today, and this is the first Utters album I ever heard, which is Juvenile Product of the Working Class. Fucking essential stuff. The more I get deeper into Utters, the more I love the band. And they're one of those bands that just doesn't suck. They don't release a shit record. Everything sounds new. And I'll touch on that later, but this is going to tie into a lot of my Fat stuff, is members from this band, members that are in this band. So, essential shit.
They do seem to be like a nail bomb of punk rock, Swinging Utters, where they started off as this Swinging Utters, this band, and they've exploded into all other bands and whatnot.
Sure.
The next one I'm going to show, these are a brilliant band, and in my view, don't get enough love. High Standard. Making the Road. This is fucking brilliant. Got a cover of the Pink Panther theme tune as the secret song at the end, the last track. They're just, for a Japanese band, they're fucking brilliant. The song Teenagers Are All Arseholes, absolutely brilliant. They do a couple of Who covers as well now and then. They're just a really good band from Japan, from Tokyo, and signed to Fat, and yeah, really good band, High Standards.
What up, Snoop? Hey, babe, can you say hey, y'all? That would have been cool.
Alright, go on, what have you got next?
Alright. Now, dude, you know what's coming next. I mean, 2001. Now, this is kind of cool because people don't know this. Okay, so, of course, the greatest Propaganda album of all time. Now, this record, Fat Mike, who owns Fat Records, who owned Honest Dons, who owned Pink and Black, also loaned Chris Hanna and George from Propaganda $50,000 to start up G7 Welcoming Committee in Canada. Even though these fucking guys hate Fat Mike and hated him for a long time.
What is the deal with that? I don't get it. I don't understand.
They started talking so much shit while they were releasing record Fat about Fat Mike being rich and fucking having the private jet or whatever, you know, fly him somewhere and doing all this other shit.
Yeah.
Which, you know, here's the deal with punk rock. So Fat Mike and NoFX, they're rich. They sell big shows. You sell out big shows. They make a lot of money. They tour 3 months out of the year, and he owns a fucking profitable label. And people are so bummed on that because it's against that punk ethic of being poor.
Yeah.
And you know, if there's anything wrong in the world, Propaganda knows what it is.
They need to pull the stick out their ass sometimes. Fucking.
If a coconut falls out of a tree in Thailand and kills somebody, Propaganda's on an anti-tree rampage for 3 albums.
Oh, fucking really. But the thing is, like, the way Fat Mike runs Fat Wreck is fucking brilliant. He says to bands, look, I'm only going to sign you for 1 album, and we'll just put out 1 album, and then if you're happy with what we've done, we'll put out another album, and then we'll keep going like that. He's not got bands signed to 7 album deals and stuff like that. It's just, and they're not part of the there's something in America, is it the FA? Oh, I can't remember what the
the federal whatever, FHAS or some shit like that, or RICAA, some shit like that. Yeah,
they refused to sign up to it, and then they put the RICA whatever, put them on their list, and Fat Wreck said, no, we're not fucking part of this, we've never paid you any money, take our fucking name off this list.
And did you see that? There was an interview with Fat Mike. It's kind of like, they don't give bands bonus money. They don't do any of that. I mean, basically the deal is, I'll put out your record, you're going to get the same percentage as everybody else, and we're going to let you do fat tours with other fat bands. So we're going to book your shows, and that's how you're going to hopefully make your living. And that's perfectly cool, in my opinion. You know, he's at least putting your music out for you at no cost to you. He's releasing a record. Well, he's going to profit on it, sure. But he did say that he pays the descendants, and it's because of Bill. He loves Bill to death. But he does pay the descendants to be on Fat Records, and he says he would pay them anyway because those guys kind of deserve to live a certain lifestyle because they were that influential on him. So he does give that band money. Plus, you know, record sales. Which, if I had the descendants on a label, I'd give them whatever they wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean,
you take whatever you want, boys. Take whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right, next up for me, quite a recent record, Masked Intruder, self-titled. Come on now, awesome pop punk stuff. You can't beat this. Every song, every riff, every ooh-ah is in place and is just essential. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
It's Ramones core at its highest peak, you know what I mean? Yeah. The vocals on those songs are so fucking good. That band is so good at that doo-wop singing style that's all over that record. Yeah. I mean, it's priceless.
And they do it live as well. They're good live, you know, because some bands can do it well on the record, but when you take it live, they're not the best. Those guys, though, live are fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I picked this up. Now, here's a good example of a band that was a good investment for Fat Mike because he owns their catalog. This is Rise Against. This is their first record. The Unraveling, their second record, Revolutions Per Minute. That's as far as you go with Rise Against.
Right.
They're brilliant. I mean, it's this record's a 10, start to finish. Track 1 through track 10. It's great. They kind of formed out of the ashes of 88 Fingers Louie, and they were all really fucking talented guys at playing. Now, these guys, of course, hit the mother lode on a major label not too long after RPM was released, and they're one of the highest grossing indie acts out there right now, so everybody kind of puts them in that hot topic kind of crew of punk bands, but their first 2 records are just brilliant records and worth listening to.
I'll have to check them out, definitely. Next for me, a sort of super group of punk, if you will. Me first going to give me with your boy here. There he is, Mr. Fat Mike. Just brilliant bands. You've got band members from all over awesome bands. Swinging Utters, Foo Fighters, NoFX, Lagwagon and Lagwagon. this album, they're covers bands, yeah, but this album is all some really good covers in here and some really good versions. I Believe I Can Fly is on here as well, actually. Yeah, and that is an awesome version of an R. Kelly song. An awesome version of it.
I would really like that band. The only tracks that I've really heard are from Have a Ball and all the compilation tracks. You know, I don't know them intimately through the records, but they're funny, and I like funny shit. I mean, it's kind of like No Effects. You listen to them to be entertained. I mean,
exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Now this one here, this is fucking essential. This is dead to me. This is Jack and Brandon from One Man Army. Now Jack's playing with Swingin' Utters. This is just a brilliant fucking punk rock record. I mean, Jack's voice is so good. It's so unique. It's grovelly, but not too grovelly. It's not like Cookie Monster. This is this album's all up tempo, good, Fat Record sounding punk.
Yeah.
It's not snotty at all. It's melodic. You need this record. You need this, and you need the EP, Little Brother, and you're set for Dead to Me because the rest of this shit's garbage. I got a new singer, and Moscow Penny Auntie's fucking, it's terrible, but essential.
Essential stuff. I'm going to show this next one, but I'm going to show it as a sort of a whole, if you will. Sick of It All, but the Live in a Dive series of records that Fat put out is about 7 or 8 of them, and it's Fat bands playing live basically and being recorded live. Subhumans were one of the bands, the British punk band, the Subhumans. Obviously they're not signed to Fat Wreck, but Fat have put out a Citizen Fish album with Leftover Crack, so I think that's how they sort of just signed up for the live album, if you will. But this is the Sick of It All version. I've got, like I say, there's others. I've got the Subhumans on CD. For a series of live recordings, these are fucking brilliant. I'm only going off the ones I've heard. Obviously, I've heard Sick of It All and Subhumans. The ones I've heard are absolutely amazing. I don't know if there's a bad one out there, but yeah, if you can, try and get hold of a Live in the Dive recording because they do really capture the live sort of sound well.
Sure. All right. Hey, sit back. I can't see you again.
All right. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dude, we're like 53 minutes in. Check. If anybody's still watching, you guys are idiots. you need to go to the bar or something.
Yeah. Press pause, go to the toilet, make a sandwich, and come back.
Yeah. It's intense, dude. What are we thinking? American Steel. This is Destroy Our Future. These guys are from Oakland, California.
Right.
Which is close to the Bay Area, you know.
Yeah.
This record's fucking brilliant, man. It's hard to describe what it sounds like. It's anthemic. Kind of sounds to me, I keep wanting to say like it sounds like What's Good About the Addicts almost, and I think it's just because there's a familiarity between singers in the two bands. This is kind of glammy, like you would expect on like an early Addicts album, but still punk. It's great stuff.
Okay, cool. Next one, I'm going to show Propaganda, How to Clean Everything. We've already spoke about this. Classic album, brilliant fucking record. Scar Sucks is a great song. And some of the other songs on there are really good songs, and they can't help you make you but dance, but sometimes the message can be a bit fucking overpowering, but musically wise, an absolutely brilliant band. So because we've shown that, I'm going to show another one. Good Riddance, the Phenomenon of Craving. This is a 10-inch, and it's the only Good Riddance I have, but it's the only Good Riddance I like as well.
No, Forgotten Country. Listen, right? And I don't have it myself. Forgotten Country is such a good strung out record.
Right. Okay.
Wait, here's one. Let's do some Midwest. This is Dillinger 4. The album is Civil War. This record and this band is something just happened to my computer.
Huh?
This record and I don't know, whatever. I'm back. This record and this band, it's just great. Everything these guys have released is pretty awesome. So, D4, Minneapolis. What up, D4? Okay.
Right, next.
Huh?
I said, are you fools not done yet?
No, we're not done yet.
You're not done yet.
Ridiculous.
No.
That's a great record. I didn't grab that record.
Yeah, Snuff 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the only proper Fat release for Snuff. The rest have all been re-issues and stuff like that. But it's not the first time Duncan Redmonds has appeared on a record for Fat Wreck. Can we guess what's coming up next? I wonder. Oh yes, it's Guns and Wankers for dancing and listening pleasure. For your dancing and listening pleasures. Absolutely brilliant record.
Oh, wow.
Come on now.
You know, there's 6 of those for sale right now. 3 of them are in Japan, and 3 of them are in Hong Kong. I cannot get my hands on a copy of that record.
No, seriously.
Guns and Wankers is better than Snuff.
Yeah.
They're better than. I love Propaganda. Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite bands. Guns and Wankers, that record, that combination of EPs is better than Propaganda. Anything they've ever released. It's better than 90% of the stuff NoFX has ever released. It is that good of a record for me. It is fucking essential, and nobody go buy it either. So just fucking forget about it.
Nobody buy it so Ned can get a copy of it somehow someday off a Japanese guy from his cold dead hands. You're not take my Guns and Wankers, Mr. Dustbin. Right, go on.
All right, now, you had already said that the Snuff stuff is all reissue on Fat, and you're right about that. And I don't know what Limey label they were originally put out on, but...
a lot of different stuff, yeah.
I know Rugger Bugger's one, and I just like to say that. It's kind of fun.
Rugger Bugger, 10 past 12 records, a load of other stuff, yeah, quite a few.
Okay, so I'm going to show... Now, this one, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that in 1996, Fat released this on Fat. I'm not sure, but Demamam Sabank, but however you say it.
Demamam Sabank, yeah. No, they didn't. No, they re-released it in that year because it came out on Perceptive Records over here, and only just over here, and because it didn't have a US release, Fat were the people who released it in the US. So it's kind of a reissue, kind of an American release only kind of thing.
Now, side 1 on this record is brilliant.
Yeah.
Side 2, it's just not as good for me as side 1 on this record in particular, but I mean the songs are good, are essential Fat stuff. Vikings, I love that track.
Vikings on the Tundra,
Nick Northern,
absolutely.
G to D, I love that track. And then even on side 2, Horse and Cart, I love that song.
Batten Down the Hatches as well. Batten Down the Hatches on that one as well. Yeah, that's a brilliant song.
So, you know, if you're going to collect Snuff, get it on Fat. It's cheap if you're in the States. I think it's still available. What do you got?
Last one. I think this is the best record Fat have released. By a band anyway, that's not a compilation album or anything like that. NoFX, The Decline. It's 18 and a half minutes of just brilliant music. It's one song by NoFX, like I say, 18 and a half minutes. But it's so good that it's just, you know, it just blows away anything else really on that record label, and it's such a good song. The musicianship's on there is brilliant. Everything about this record is really good, really good.
I'm not gonna talk about NoFX because you broke the rules and you pulled a NoFX record.
Well, seeing as we're talking about Fat, I only pulled one though. You know,
The Decline.
Yeah.
And I'll get into it more if we do a NoFX thing, but it's essential. Never heard it until recently, maybe in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
And I listened to it, and I would fade in and out of the song. You know, it was easy to do that at first, kind of like. But now I'm like dialed in. It's like if I put it on, I'm in for 18 minutes, and I'm paying attention to what's going on. The level of musicianship in the band versus 1995 is like here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's kind of where I'm going to leave it with that. But yeah, definitely The Decline. It's essential. It's 18 minutes well spent. It's way better than an hour and 1 minute spent with us. Just get off this thing and go listen to The Decline.
Exactly. Go and do it. Go and do it now. Right. Well.
All right.
Go on.
Hang on. I got two. We're gonna go quick.
Okay.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite snuff recording. I don't know if this was a comp or if this was released as it is to be a full length. I don't know much about it, but I do know that the cover songs on here are so good. Not even the cover songs, the folk songs and the weird whatever. Yeah. But Rivers of Babylon, Whatever Happened to the Likely Lads, what a good track, the way they recorded it. It's like, man, how can you not want to go get drunk to that song? It's so good. Ye Old Folk Twat. Yeah. Brilliant song. I mean, I love it. And Time Dub, Pink Purple. This is killer stuff. If this one's still available, get that. It's just great. And then last but not least is 2013. This is right there for one of my favorite records of 2013. This is Swingin' Utters, Poorly Formed.
Right.
The instrumentation, the experimentation on this record is it's very unique for what's coming out, you know, by a lot of bands, even on Fat. And it's definitely, it's good, it's essential, you need to check it out, man.
Cool.
And that wraps up my Fat.
Awesome. Well, that wraps up this then. That wraps up this episode of Two Dumb Punks. Next time we'll talk about NoFX, and I think we should talk about Epitaph Records as well. So we'll do the same sort of thing. We'll show some Epitaph Records next time, and we'll talk about NoFX beforehand, rather than do what we've got on, vinyl gets.
It's going to be a NoFX extravaganza.
Oh, dear. Right. Well, on that note, this is the end of Two Dumb Punks. You've been sat here for an hour and 3 minutes, you fucking idiots. Yay! Take it easy, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Peace out.
He's waving.